If I had to name a toxic trait, that's probably my toxic trait right there. I don't need closure. Once I see something I don't like, I'm out. You know what I mean? I'm out. I'm out. Like I don't need closure. We don't need to touch and agree on this or anything. I'm out. Once I see something that I don't like, I'm done. You know what I mean? It's your mindset, the way you think, the way you move, the way you act, the way you treat people. You know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. If you are rude to people, even if you nice as punch to me, but if you rude to other people, you know what I mean? You nasty and all this, you move shady, I'm done with you. You know what I mean? That is my toxic trait. We don't need to talk about it. I ain't gonna try to raise you. You understand? You a grown person, I'm a grown person. At this big age, as they say, if you ain't got it by now, you ain't got it. So if I could name one toxic trait, I guess that's my toxic trait. If you could, I don't consider it a toxic trait, but I can see how people think it's a toxic trait. People talking about closure and, giving people chances and shit. No, man. Not at 40 years old. you had chances. You had chances. I can see, if you young and you hadn't experienced this and that and you was raised on survival mode and everything like that. See, I can give people grace. That's one thing about me. I can give you grace. But if it ain't for me, it just ain't for me. You know what I mean? I'm not your teacher. I ain't your mentor. I ain't your big brother. You know what I mean? I'm just a dude playing the dude disguised as another dude. That's all I am. I'm trying to do the best I can. And yeah. And the best I can is a calm nervous system. That is the best I can do. Calm, cool, collected nervous system. They call it, emotional intelligence is not it, but what they call it is, just nervous system regulation. And I think that's, what people are talking about when they talking about a healing journey. It's just regulating your nervous system. Like my nervous system, I like to be cool, calm, and collected. You know what I mean? I'm a laid back guy. That's how I've been forever, right? I'm not saying that's the default for everybody, but that's my default, right? And once I realized that's my default, I had to, it's not fake it till you make it or anything like that. It's putting yourself in that energy space. That's what it is. It's putting yourself in the energy space. If you know you want to be cool, calm, collected, you want to be, centered or whatever like that, you have to be honest with yourself about what things that are contributing to you not being centered. Right? And I don't want to get too far into the weeds of things outside of yourself because it's really inside of yourself. You tolerate things. That's why they call it like boundaries and things like that. Because it's what you tolerate. If you tolerate that from people, then that's what you're going to get. How people saying they are recovering people pleaser and things like that. People pleasing, yeah. One thing that you can do to recover from people pleasing if you have not is think about it a different way. That's what I do. Instead of thinking about pleasing people, think about pleasing yourself first and foremost. Because if you ain't pleased, then you know what I mean? It doesn't work, right? It's just a facade. You trying to put up a facade, and that doesn't work long term. I think they call that masking. So yeah. You have to be you. You know what I mean? You have to figure out what that is. And I look at it, basic principles, my nervous system. You know what I mean? You feel anxiety or anxious or all these type of good things. Well, they could be good things. Depends on how you look at them. Right? Because one thing I saw on IG or somewhere is using what you have, right? Like anxiety, right? Anxiety is, you're on edge, you're noticing everything and everything like that. Everything's amplified. This is dirty, man. I need a new one of these. That's why I keep on looking at it. I think I got a new one in the back somewhere. I'm gonna throw this one away. But yeah, so that's the thing I did on my healing journey, as they say. And also, just another kind of thought is, I don't know if I'm the only one, I'm probably not, but your brain seems like it's not on your side. Seems like it's not on your side, right? People talk about the voices in your head and things like that. The voice in your head telling you, hey, don't do it this way, do it that way, or you should have done it this way, or I told you not to do this, or you trusted the wrong person, you know what I mean? Or, hey, you said something that was embarrassing or not quite right, or there's some information that you didn't know, so you didn't show up with the correct information about something. And all these things, like your brain is really an asshole. You know what I mean? It's not on your side. And I'm like, yeah, I can definitely agree with that. So once my brain starts being an asshole, I don't try to push it down or anything like that. I'm more of an integration kind of guy. I believe in integrating your demons, as you say, into one. Because I feel like you need to be one person, right? You need to be one. Everything need to be alive. That's the way I feel. That's me personally. Like the you versus you thing, and the only person I'm in competition with is myself and stuff like that. I don't like that stuff. I understand why people say it, but I don't like it because I think that's a little, in my opinion, it's toxic for me, right? It's toxic for me. I don't believe in that. I believe in the integration thing. I don't know if you saw that thing on Instagram where the little girl's on the table and dancing around her demons and they all on beat or whatever. That's the way I think it should be. I think you should integrate all your demons. Your good side, your bad side, your sad side, your embarrassing side, your cringe side, all that shit. You know what I mean? Should be, it's you. You know what I mean? It's you. And you really, for me, I just got to be me. Because if I'm not me, the energy's not going to work. The magic's not going to work. I can't be you. You can't be me. That's okay. Right? I believe if we keep certain rules, we can all get along. My rules are be honest and be respectful. As long as you keep those two rules, I feel like anything's possible. I really do. Hey, what's up? I forgot what I was saying. I had to go to the back to get some more paper towels. I think I was on a ramble. Like usually I am when I'm doing dishes. But I know I was talking about the you versus you thing. But I think I finished that idea. I talked about regulating your nervous system. Talked about that. One of the things I do to change that inner voice, one of the books I read called it an inner critic. And that's pretty spot on. You have your inner critic. But one thing I do is talk to myself. I talk to myself a lot actually. But it's the way you talk to yourself, the way you refer to yourself type stuff. So example, your inner critic, right? Your inner critic is there, right? I'm not trying to silence the voice, right? I think if you try to silence the voice or you try to distract yourself or whatever from the voice, I think that's the wrong way to go. Now, people have done it. You know, people talk about they in the gym fighting demons and shit. I like to lift. I like to lift, and I like the way I look when I lift. So that's why I lift. And it's good for you, health-wise and conditioning-wise. But anyway, I like it, right? I'm never going to say I'm fighting demons in the gym because that's not what I'm doing. I ain't fighting shit. You understand? We're going to figure out a way to get along. We in the same body, right? We in the same body. We're going to figure out a way to get along. That's why I believe in integration. I do. Because if you implode against yourself, you're already done. You don't even know you're done. If you're not aligned, if you don't take aligned action, and your heart is somewhere else and your mind is somewhere else, and they're not on the same page, it ain't gonna work out. You got to be aligned. Your heart got to be in it. Your mind got to be in it. Your soul got to be in it. Because if it ain't aligned, somebody else who's aligned is gonna walk you down. Somebody like me is gonna walk you down each and every time. Why? Because you're not aligned. You just doing something just to do it. And I always thought, well, I never thought it, but people thought it about me that I'm lazy. No, I'm not lazy. I'm not lazy at all. I'm just energy efficient. And that's the reframe I'm talking about. The way you talk to yourself, right? I'm not lazy, right? If I need to get something done, I'm going to get it done, right? But if I don't need to get it done, then why am I wasting my energy type stuff? That's how I feel about things. Like if something you need to do or you want to do or whatever, get it done. Right? Point blank, period. You just get it done. I like lifting weights, right? But I'm not a big fan of cardio. Not a big fan. But I do know cardio is necessary for the whole leaning out process and displaying the gains and all that type of stuff. So that's why I do cardio. Right? Because it's required. It's just getting it done. And so I don't think about it like, oh, I'm dreading this cardio. I got to do this. It's another day I got to do cardio. I don't think about it like that. You know what I mean? I just don't think about it that way. Because if you start thinking about things that way, it's going to make it extra hard on you. It's going to make it extra hard. So you got to change the way, in my opinion, you need to change the way. If you think that way, you need to change that about yourself. It's just the way you think, It's like hypervigilance. I don't think I said that correctly, but you know what I'm talking about. Like when you got anxiety and things like that, you can use it to your benefit. You know, you can be a person to notice things, to notice patterns, to notice the when things are off, because you are hypervigilant. That's it. Or overthinkers. I dealt with this. Overthinking. Like, I like thinking. I like being in my mind. I like thinking. I like it. I really do. But to quit overthinking, I had to reframe it and say, hey, you can think. That's fine. But don't break your own heart. Because that's one of the big things with overthinkers. They break their own heart. They talk themselves out of whatever by just thinking about it. By just overthinking. So that's something. It's something you have to notice about yourself. You have to take notice about yourself and be honest with yourself. You know, when I said be honest and be respectful, you should start with yourself. No lie. You need to be honest with yourself, but you also need to respect yourself. You can't be calling yourself dumb and stupid and I should have known better and I shouldn't have done this. No. You had good intentions. Like, there's been some things in my life that I wish would have went a different way. But I had the best of intentions. You know what I mean? I went into it. I had the best of intentions. Some things just don't pan out the way you want it to. You know? And that's the way it is sometimes. But you learn from it, right? You learn from it. That's another a reframe I did. I don't lose. I never lose. I'm going to either win or I'm going to learn, right? I'm either going to succeed on my plan or learn from it and succeed later. You know, because beating yourself up and think about this, that's not going to do anything, right? That's the thing about it. Like, it doesn't make sense to me because you can't do anything about it, right? But I read in a book somewhere that it's important to mourn your losses. So you mourn your losses or mourn the things that didn't go according to plan. That's fine. But you also need to celebrate your wins. See, they say that's what people don't do a lot. If they are going to be critical on themselves, they should also celebrate themselves when they do something right. And people are not balanced that way. And that's another thing. Balance is good. But it's just the way you talk to yourself. The way you talk to your inner critic. You repurpose your inner critic. That's what I was really going to say. You repurpose it. All right? Your inner critic is going to be there. Don't try to silence it. Him or her or it. However you think about it. I'm thinking about just silencing that. Not silencing it, but change the way you speak, how it speaks to you. Like, you explain to your inner critic that, hey, my intentions were good. I meant for this to happen. I didn't see this. I didn't know this, right? There's a lot of things in my life that I didn't know, right? I didn't know. I didn't know what to look for. I didn't know what was important. I didn't know, I didn't know these things. And then once you progress through this thing they call life, you start knowing things, observing things. Like, okay, this is why this didn't go directly to plan, because I didn't know this. I didn't see this. And then once you know something or see something, then you can change it and be better for the next time, right? That's what I do with my inner critic. Like my inner critic brings up something, I can do this. Like, man, thank God, I'm good. I learned the lesson. I'm gonna move on. And you tell your inner critic, I learned the lesson. Moved on. You move on as well. And one of the things that I do to move on is meditate. Now I'm sure there's a lot of different ways to meditate, and you probably heard people tell you to meditate before when these things start happening. It's just one other tool in the toolbox you can use, basically. So the way I meditate is I learn from a book, just like most things. Is so you ground yourself by deep breathing, and you notice your breath and you count every breath. And you go up to 25. And then once you hit 25, you start back at 1. Right? So in, out. That's 1. In, out. There's 2. 3. 4. 5. It's deep breathing too. Now don't be breathing from over here. Deep breathe. What number was I on? And if you can't remember what number you're on, just start back at 1. 1. And go all the way to 25. And if you notice yourself, this is the magic part about it. If you notice yourself getting sucked back into your thoughts, once you notice it, you break it off and go right back to breathing. Also, if you're into it and you go past 25 and you at 30, you like 30, 31. You don't like, oh, I should have known. I should have been at 25. I'm stupid. I can't even count. Don't be hard on yourself. Just go back to 1. You understand? And I think that was magical. When I read it, I thought that was magical. So that's how I meditate. I'm sure there's other ways to do it, but that's the way I do it. It grounds me. It empties my mind. And I can carry out whatever action I'm doing. Yeah, so I just want to get on here and yap and share some information with the peoples, because we hear these buzzwords all the time, like go and heal and things like that, emotional intelligence, but sometimes you need to break this down as to what it means. So if you got any other questions, hit me up. I do my best to give you what I have in the situation. Let me scroll up here. Y'all be good.